Good morning, kids. Yesterday I have sent 2 video links. These video links were about the fraction. Our lesson for today. So today we will talk about fractions. Let us start. The following describe one whole of some food. Can you see? It's a whole sandwich. I have here one whole pizza. It is a whole pizza. I have a whole donut. Here we have a whole sandwich, an apple, and a whole pack of cheese. So these are all wholes, okay? These are wholes of some food. And here is a whole pie. Now each image represents also one whole of some food, but it is divided or cut into equal parts, same size. I have a whole sandwich, but this whole sandwich is divided or cut into 2 equal pieces, 2 same size pieces, 2 equal parts. 2 equal parts. Same thing for this whole pizza. It's a whole pizza, but it is divided into many pieces, and these pieces or these parts are equal. They are all the same, have the same size. How many parts? If you count the parts, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 equal parts. Here is the apple. I cut it into 2 parts, into 2 halves, 2 equal parts. And here, if I open this packet of cheese, I can find 8 triangles inside. So the whole pack has 8 triangles inside. 8 equal parts of cheese. What do you call one part of a divided rectangle or circle? Look here. I have a full here. I have one whole rectangle and one whole circle. But what do we call this part? One part of this whole. What do we call this part? In this lesson, you will learn what a fraction is by dividing shapes into equal shares or equal parts that have the same size. What are fractions? Fractions are formed when we have a whole that is divided into equal parts. Like the pizza. I have a whole pizza. I cut it into many equal parts. Each part represents a fraction. Or fractions are formed when items are selected from the whole set. In this lesson, we will focus on the first one. Fractions are formed when we have a whole that is divided into equal parts. Equal shares or equal parts. Here I have a full rectangle, one whole rectangle. It is divided into 2 equal parts. If I cut this or I divide this rectangle into 2 equal parts, so I cut it in halves. So this one is 1/2 and the other part is 1/2. Half and half make the whole. So I cut it into 2 halves. This circle is cut into 4 equal parts. I want you to notice that always I mention equal parts, not any parts. The parts must be equal. It has 4 equal parts, but what do I call one part of this? So, what do I call this part? Or what do I call this part? This part is one part of the 4 parts. This whole is divided in 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 parts, and this one, this part only is 1. 1 out of 4. It represents 1/4. And this one 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. And these are new words for you. 1/4. So this circle is cut into 4 equal fourths. Sometimes we call the 1/4 a quarter. Remember, equal parts means the same size. Here is another set. This is another set. I have in this classroom boys and girls. Okay? Can you see? Can you see the boys are wearing shirts? Can you see these boys? They are wearing shirts. This is a boy and this is a boy. And the other are wearing vest, or what is it? I don't know. They are all girls. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this classroom has 6 students in all. So the whole classroom has 6 students. So it's a set. Okay? It's a set. But in this set, I cannot cut as I put in as I did in the pizza. I cannot cut the boys or cannot cut the girls, okay? But this is the whole set, like your classroom. Your classroom has boys and girls, okay? How many girls are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 girls out of 6, because this whole classroom has 6 students. So the girls represents 4 out of 6 of this classroom, while the boys represents 2. There are 2 boys in this whole classroom. So I have 2 boys out of 6, and this is a fraction. Here is a whole set that has 6 students in total. 2 are boys and 4 are girls. Now, let's first think about what a fraction is. I have this rectangle. It is cut, or it is divided into 4 parts, and these parts are all equal. I need you to look at this orange part. This rectangle is cut into 4 equal parts, and I shade one part in orange color. Okay, can you see this orange color? Now, if I want to know what is this fraction, okay, the whole rectangle is cut into 4 equal parts. So, a fraction is a number that represents equal part or equal parts of a whole. Again, a fraction is a number, so it is a number that represent equal part or equal parts. Sometimes I have one part and sometimes I have more than one parts shaded. In this example, only one part is shaded. Can you see? This part is shaded in orange. So what this represents a fraction. A fraction is a number that represents equal parts from the whole shape. So if I want to write this fraction, I said, what is the whole? The whole shape has 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And my shaded part is 1. So I shaded one part from these 4 parts. One part from out of these 4, and this is a fraction. Now, if a fraction is any value that represents part of a whole, what is a unit fraction? Let us start. I have a circle. This whole circle is divided into 4 equal parts. What do I call this part, one part of this one? The blue one. This is a unit fraction. Can you see? It's a unit fraction. One part from the whole parts. A unit fraction is always one part of that whole. Can you see? It looks like an envelope. It is a rectangle that is divided into 4 equal parts. This is a unit fraction, one part from the whole parts. 1/4. It is 1/4. 1 out of 4, 1/4. And here, this circle is divided into 2 equal parts. It is divided into 2 halves. So 1 unit fraction, this yellow, is 1 out of 2. It is 1/2. And this one is cut into 3 equal parts. What about the unit fraction? What if I only shade one part like this? This one part, okay? Represent what? Represent one part from the whole parts. I have 1 from the whole. I have 1 out of 3. So it is 1 out of 3, which is 1/3.